theoretician of learning, and he came up with this efficient system that is used all over the world. There are thousands of students and one professor who has all the knowledge and all the authority. Okay, so it's very simple because I know all the answers, so I have the power. If I give you the test, okay, you have to give the answers I expect. If you don't give me the answers I expect, I give you a negative feedback. I fail you. Okay? So you cannot continue with your education. And that's the most frequent feedback you get at the university. At the end of the course, you find out whether you passed the course or you didn't. If we have a problem with the sound, So that's the traditional system. We call it Herbartian, from Herbart, okay? Or Prussian, from Prussia, part of Germany, okay? Where the idea was that societies function when they are effective. So in 19th century, what was effective was production, okay? The mass. So now you are the mass, and it's effective. I'm just one. You take what I know, okay, and then you reproduce it back. Okay? So that's the first system. No, I'm fine with others. It was giving us too much feedback. Okay, so that's one thing. The second system is when we want to teach something and get the answers from students that the teacher doesn't know. So if I ask you a difficult question, I want to be surprised with answers. So the second system is for teaching innovation and creativity. And it's teaching to solve problems that the teacher doesn't know yet. Okay? Because this is what the world is about now. It's about solving problems that have not been solved yet. And we need to prepare. And education should be also about this. So today, class, seminar, stadium, general, or workshop, because this is how I hoped that we will interact. Workshop, which means that we all work. Okay? I work, you work. Is about how to help students in those both systems through telling them how they can do better. Okay? To either arrive at this one correct answer or one algorithm for solving a problem in the first system, or how to really become creative and how to challenge problems that are not solved yet. Okay? Or in a way, how to become a perfect engineer, or how to become an artist. Okay? Or ideally, both. Because now we need engineers that are artists at the same time. They design things that nobody has designed yet. And they design things that solve problems that have not been solved. Okay? So it's a very ambitious aim for today. We try. We'll do as much as we can. Okay? So first, I want you to listen to a voice from Asia. The owner of one of the biggest online shops in the world. Maybe you have heard him already. Okay, Jack Ma, right? So just for a common experience, because I don't want you to feel that, in Europe, we know more about education. It's not true. And some of you have studied in Europe, so you know. But some of you studied in Germany, where this first system was invented. And, if we analyze European education, it's about this. And I think it's the worst thing that we did, education, this Prussian system. But it's not about judging. Okay, so now let's listen to just 2 or 3 minutes of this Chinese guy who was very poor, who came from an ordinary family and became one of the most influential people in the world. What he thinks about education, what education should be about, what should we teach, not to get into trouble in 30 years from now. So you see, it's very easy to Google this, and it's pretty popular, and I'm so happy that you have heard it already. Again, we don't have the voice, you have the voice, because you know what he's saying. Right?
I think I know better than you because I learn from others. So a teacher should do better than they thought. And everything the company should do is making sure the good environment to train him to be more positive. And everything we do, this is a teacher. And teacher does not mean I know better than you are. Everything I know better than you are because I learn from others. So a teacher should learn all the time. A teacher should share all the time. A teacher should always expect the other people better than you are. And by the way, education is a big challenge now. If we do not change the way we teach, 30 years later we'll be in trouble. Because the way we teach, the things we teach our kids are the things in the past 200 years is knowledge-based. And we cannot teach our kids to compete with machine who is smarter. We have to teach something unique. That is, machine can never catch up with us. In this way, 30 years later, our kids have the chance. I hope I answered your question.
It's a very difficult one to answer, but what are those skills that you think we need to teach? If we're moving away from knowledge, what are the key things?
Value, believing, independent thinking, teamwork, care for others. These are the soft part. The knowledge may not teach you that. Folks, that's why I think we should teach our kids on sports, the music, the painting, art. To making sure humans should be different from everything we teach should be different from machine. If the machine can do better, you have to think about it.
Okay. Yeah, you can start. Okay. So our seminar, our Studium General today will address this kind of aims for education that he mentioned. Okay? And of course, we need to be better than the machines. We need to be better than artificial intelligence that can do things for us, because we want to control it. Okay? So the first part will be about how the machines learn and how we have to keep it in our education still. That's the basics. So the machines learn from feedback only. Okay?
The machines do what we tell them to do and how we tell them that the machines are doing, in a way. Okay? So everything is based on feedback. So now I'm going to take you to United States and to American preschool and elementary school, where the teacher teaches young Americans how to give feedback to each other. Okay? I want you to watch the 5-minute movie. Okay? Hopefully it will have also the subtitles in English to help you. And I want you to find out 2 things, or the most important thing. What the feedback refers to. Okay, so what are the 2 categories of feedback here? It's about teaching to draw, like Jack Ma said. It's one, the painting or drawing is important. But again, you will notice that there are 2 kinds. One which is very exact for engineers, and one which is artistic for artists, creative for artists. Okay? So try to understand and write down 2 things that the feedback is about. Okay? But then, of course, we will discuss the whole way of giving feedback and how important it is that the feedback is not just, again, from the teacher to the students, or from the students to the teacher, but it's also from student to student. Right? This is how we maximize learning. And we should do it from the very beginning, if we don't want to be dominated by the machines. Okay, so one more film.